Just got dropped off at Winding Stair Gap, and we are headed into the woods, and it looks like we have a consistent 4-mile upward climb up to what's called Silar Bald, which should be a pretty good view once we get there. Most of what we're going to be doing today is going to be net uphill. I think our ascent was going to be like 1,100 square feet, 2,900 feet, and our descent was only like 1,100. So we're going to be going from Winding Stair Gap through to Wayah Bald Tower parking lot. And so this is the first start of us coming into or out of Winding Stair Gap. And one of the first things we see here is a nice little waterfall with a bridge coming over it. So we'll go ahead and go across that bridge here on the video. We're gonna have to really pace ourselves because sometimes these climbs at the beginning kind of catch up with you pretty good. So Rae's stepping aside so I can get a good video of the little mini waterfall. You can see the bridge here. And this really shaky bridge that I got to go across. So the next 4 miles is going to be uphill. Not sure how much I'll show of that. Depends on how much energy I have. Now we're about 2 miles into our hike. We're at a little bit of a easier part. We did quite a bit of climbing up to this part. And just wanted to show some of the views that we're getting as we are hiking. Because spring hasn't gotten all the trees with their cover, we were able to get some pretty good views. And we're at the 2 mile mark, and that last mile took us about 32 minutes. We're now heading down into what they're calling Panther Gap, which usually all your gaps typically just means that you are between two mountain ranges, and the gap is in the middle, of course. So the nice, peaceful, serene terrain we have, and the birds are enjoying it too. And this is officially the center part of the gap. And there's Panther Gap. You get a little sun here. Well, we are still on our way to the top of Silar Bald. But on the way, we got these really nice views to our east, I think. So we made it to the top of the Silar Bald area, and there's a little side trail from this point that leads up to Silar Bald. Railing's already started. You can see the trail kind of goes up here, and then I assume it goes over there. So we're gonna start making our way up there. And I am told that it is the area that you don't want to miss on this side trail. So I'm going to start walking up this way, and then when we get up to the top, if it is as advertised, I will video at the summit. This is actually off the AT about a quarter of a mile, but they say it's a do not miss it side quest, or in AT terms, a blue blaze. Well, still climbing to the top of Silar Bald. And it's quite the climb. I don't know if you can tell perspective, but according to my Chorus watch, this is almost a 20% grade getting up here. So I sound winded, it's because I am. I was originally not going to get my backpack up here, but I realized when we get to the top we're going to need some water, and I brought a chair for Raylene to sit on so she can do better with recovery. And figured if I hiked with that Helinox chair in my backpack for 30 miles, what better time to use it than at the top of this bald, where we're going to sit here probably for 20-30 minutes at least. So I'm not quite there yet, but as I turn around, here's my views. And I know I'm breathing heavy, but I'm doing it on purpose or videoing on purpose, so I one day will gain a perspective of how hard this was and how worth it was going to be when I get to the top. All right. Well, I made it to the top of Silar Bald, and I've caught my breath enough to do the video. And we're going to stay up here for a little bit and enjoy this spectacular 360-degree views. It says on the Far Out app that this is the most scenic and longest views that you're going to get on the southern part of the Appalachian Trail. And I believe it. You can't quite make out some of the areas in the backdrop because of some of the smokiness and all that, but it goes for miles and miles. I don't know if the video is doing it justice or not, but I'm going to do one more panoramic view. And you can now begin to see why this area is eloquently called the Blue Ridge Mountain Range. Well, right around the 6.5 mile mark, we found a nice little place off trail that had 3 picnic tables and a nice little sitting area. And so we stopped for lunch, and now we are about to head up to a 2.5 mile climb to the top of the next mountain. Well, we finally made it on top of this mountain range that we were working on coming out of Wayah Gap. It was a 2.5 mile uphill, and we didn't do a lot of recording because frankly we didn't want to be sucking wind on video. But I wanted to show you this area here because it's like all flowers up here, just all the way as far as the eye can see. It's just really cool. I don't know if it shows up in the camera, but you can tell that the top of this is turning into spring. Just really cool. So now that we reached the summit of this area, we are now going to be hiking. The next 1 mile is going to be kind of a downhill, and right now this ground looks really soft and cruisy, so maybe we'll have a little bit of relief toward the end of our day. And which started at Winding Stair Gap, and we are now 9 miles into this hike, and we're about 1.5 miles away from the Wayah Bald Tower, which we may go up there and see it today, or we might just wait till the morning because we're in the parking lot, and it's still about a quarter mile from the parking lot. So we'll see how it goes, how we feel. This 1 mile downhill might help us get our second wind, because the 2.5 miles up, it was well into the 80s, like it was yesterday afternoon. We were starting to feel it. Went through a lot of water. We did get some more water at a water source, which was ice cold, so that was refreshing. So as long as the trail, is kind of like this, we could probably hike forever on this kind of a trail. But the rocks and the roots and the uphill for 2.5 miles, it was pretty good physical challenge for us. But we made it up, and now we're on our way down the next mile on this cruisy part of the trail. Well, we made it to the top, or almost the top, of Wayah Bald. We hiked for a total of 10.5 miles, and you have this beautiful, beautiful panoramic view up here. And Wayah Bald Tower is right up there, and we'll get some videos at Wayah Bald Tower as well. So this is a paved part of the Appalachian Trail, because the Wayah Tower is actually on the Appalachian Trail officially. So we are going to go ahead and go up to the tower tonight after we've hiked 10.5 miles, because we're not sure what kind of view we'll get in the morning. So we figure we'll go ahead and get the view we can get tonight and see what it looks like in the morning after we set off for our last day of hiking on this trip. So as we approach the tower, come upon this information board, and I'll put it here, so if you want to pause and read it. You can see each segment of it. And there's Rae Runnin heading into the tower. There's some people up at the top right now, so I'm going to wait to go up there until they come down. But this is the iconic Wayah Tower. Railings on the inside there. There's a memorial to it.
Feels cool in here.
It's nice and cool in here because it's all stone. This is just the inside. All original stone, probably from about the 30s if I was guessing, but I don't know why they needed that on the bottom there, but let's get 4-leaf clover for good luck. I'm going to take you out to the actual view after we look at this last, well, not the last information board, but an additional information board. And then the view. We walk right along the wall here. The fantastic, iconic, fabulous view of Wayah Bald. And then the last information board. Who wants to look at an information board when you can see this? Oh, and I found the actual marker for the survey marker for the tower, the Wayah Bald. I think that is Silar Bald way over there that we were on earlier today. Right up there. Yep, that is Silar Bald. I'll confirm that when I get on top of the tower. So this is the back side of Wayah Bald Tower. We wanted to see these views tonight just in case they're not available to us in the morning.
We had 4 days off and we're spending all 4 hiking.
Good for you. Where's home?
Florida. It's cold.